right in. We want to thank, as always, our partners and friends, Title Alliance, Motto Mortgage Professionals, also Bill with Valley Building Inspections for our room this morning, breakfast, coffee, that sort of thing. So thank you guys very much. And Tina, you want to start us off? You got some interesting stuff for us.
You wanted it? Oh, or I can help. I can do it. I think I can do it. Good morning, everyone. Hey, so last month I talked about free money. Does anyone remember? Oh, okay. What is it, Roberta? Wait, hold on. Wait, to get free money, you have to be able to explain what free money is from Motto. Do you still want it? Ruh-roh. Sticking it back in. Anyone? Wait.
Get points for getting a good customer service score or something like that.
That's very close. I think you deserve the 20. Congratulations, Kim. Okay, now we'll tell you what it is, in addition to great customer service. So free money is basically, as we close transactions and do a good job, we close them really quickly. We can actually get points, and we can use those points to buy the interest rate down. And so I wanted to show you guys how we can kind of stack up the savings. And this is important because you guys can talk to your borrowers about it. So for example, this is a $400,000 purchase price, loan amount $320,000. So with the Motto free money, it's a rate reduction, and they're going to save $70 a month, $25,000 over the life of the loan. Okay, now that doesn't sound like a lot, but who in here would like to have $25,000? I would. And then if you add on the temporary buy down, I mean, look at the savings there. It's huge. So we can help save your buyers $40,000 in this scenario. So I really encourage you to talk to our loan officers, and they can kind of walk you or your buyers through this, and let us help you kind of get your borrowers off the fence. All right. My second thing is clear to close. And this is something that our loan officers are doing a great job at. What this means is, how quickly can we get it submitted to underwriting and ready for docs, right? I know that sometimes we hear, oh, it's closing day and we're just getting docs, or we're waiting for docs. Not us. Brian Jacinko just got clear to close in 5 days. And the way that we do this is we're doing everything up front. We're asking borrowers for everything that we need. We don't want this last minute stuff. Once they go under contract, we want them to focus on home inspections, whatever you need to do on your end, packing boxes, moving, that sort of thing. So time is money, and we want to help you with that. And the last thing I have for you is the next event that we're going to do. Some of you may know Janie Peters. She used to work at Remax, and Miss Sarah trained her, and she's pretty awesome. But now she has a business, and she's going to help us understand why video is important, how to do it. I know some of us really hate it, me included, but I think it's great. So it's June 29th at 11:30, and of course we will have food and fun. All right, that's it. Thanks. Oh, one question. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Thank you, Roberta. Oh, yes.
Are you doing like a free refi after 6 months or something if rates were to plummet?
Yeah, so it's not free, right? But we can certainly use our free money to buy the rate down, right? And keep the costs as low as we possibly can. And we can possibly use some of our points towards the appraisal. So if needed, I'm sure it would be needed. So good question. Anyone else? All righty.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Tina. And I believe Sam is here with Title Alliance. Come on up. Here you go.
Good morning. I'm Sam with Title Alliance. So I'm on Jody Snyder's team. I'm her right hand. As most of you know, I'm up front. I got the big candy jar that you love to indulge in. So I did put on your table there. It's the ways to take title. So that's our flyer. Pretty common ways to take title. We have community property and then joint tenants. And the main difference is adding the survivorship language in there. So that means that if either person passes away, the property does not go to probate because we don't like that. It's a headache. So we can always customize these flyers with your with your headshot and your information on them so you can give them to your clients. And I know these are kind of lopsided. They will be way better for you, I promise. But we can always customize them. And if you have anything else that you think your clients could benefit from, we can print just about anything for you, okay? Did anyone have any questions? No? Awesome. All the candy you could wish for. No, I did run out, but if you want to call our office, I can always have some ready for pickup, and we customize it so we can put your headshot below with your contact information. We also have other beneficial flyers like good terms to know from escrow and things like that as well. Okay, awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Yeah, we always like to have additional reasons to reach out to our clients, right, with value add. So, little things like that are great. I mean, right now, as things kind of slow down, I've heard from actually a number of our agents that they're like redoing trusts and wills and things like that. And certainly like survivorship and that kind of thing is a good thing to be thinking about. So, might not hurt to reach out to some of your folks about that, start a conversation, and, never hurts to be visible for them. Okay, Bill, you got some interesting stuff for us real quick here. Yeah. Pleasure.
Hey, everybody. How we doing? I'm Bill Denhard. I'm with Valley Building Inspections. I joined the team in October as their account executive. And if we haven't met before, come say hi. I try to be present at these meetings and at happy hours and in the office. And I really enjoyed getting to know the RE/MAX Professionals group. And just so you know, I'm not looking to move in on anybody's squeeze. I know that, we're in a relationship business and you probably have your inspector solution already on lock, or, he or she is your go-to. Hold on to that, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sometimes, circumstance or scheduling or even a client might make you make a left turn, in which case I can't wait for that phone call. So thank you for that. But also the reason why I'm here today is because, one of the things that we try to provide value to every deal is to, show and give the feeling that, we want to enlighten, not frighten, and we believe that everybody deserves to feel physically safe and emotionally secure. And one of the offerings that we have that's really cemented that, and we've been getting a lot of great feedback, is our Repair Pricer. And if you're not familiar with Repair Pricer, you haven't heard me talk about it before, what we do is we take the inspection report and we put it through a really comprehensive and sophisticated AI program where we draw from national and local data points to, within 24 hours, kicks a report that has the recommended repairs and the costs associated with those repairs within a 98% accurate format. It's all done by, it's organized by category, and really it's not meant to be a Binzer replacement or to, skip over your due diligence, but rather, you've all heard the adage, there's no such thing as a perfect house, but you have to determine whether this house is going to be perfect for you, right? And this is a great tool for that. Normally it's an $83 value that we send to your, or that we offer to your clients, but RE/MAX Professionals, every agent is going to get one for free. I know that it's hard pulling a lot of buyers off of the sidelines right now. And this is just a great tool in your toolbox to really help provide value for your either first time buyers or maybe lifelong buyers. So let's act like it's 1998, get into your email inbox and look for my email that's getting sent at 10 o'clock. There's a promo code. You guys really should use it. It's been a fantastic tool. And I feel confident that all you need to do is use it once and you're going to use it time and time again. So thank you for being such great partnerships. We're really looking forward to working on your deal, and come say hi to me next time. Okay. So it's coming at you 10 o'clock. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bill. All right, good stuff there. So I've got a couple of reminders, couple of value adds for you, things like that, before we jump over to Shannon here. So one still coming up June 20 and 21st with some additional educational opportunities. The Luxury Forum, that's in New Orleans. How many people in this room are going? Okay. So I know Nate is, and I've heard from a couple other people that they were on the fence about it. I think Nate was on the fence about it until recently as well. But it's a good venue. It's a good information. So if you're adjacent to that market, if you're in that market, that sort of thing, both the education, but also of course all of the networking and other things there, just like R4, right? It's a great place to be. So just a reminder that's still there. You can still register and enjoy that. All right, Sarah, you want to chat about this one? JJ.
It's not working. Next Thursday, we have a special presenter coming in. Elm Street recently bought out VoicePad. How many people use VoicePad? Y'all should be using it. Nate's paying for it. It's a fantastic tool. Really great for lead gen. So years ago, we had a different software, wasn't VoicePad, but I sold 5 houses off of a lead that came through a VoicePad type technology. So it works. These guys are coming in next Thursday, going to talk about some marketing stuff. They're bringing you breakfast and mimosas. Who can turn that down, right? On a Thursday morning. So I sent you guys the information yesterday. Shoot me back an email. Let me know. They're trying to get a head count. We're really heavy on marketing and social media this month. So check it out. Thursdays, we got just a ton of stuff. And of course, every Tuesday, come join me on Zoom for momentum. So that's all I got. If you guys need anything, I'm always just a phone call or an email away.
Thanks, Sarah. All right. So, who noticed the subscription with real estate news that came through? Because this has been mentioned a few times. Okay, good, more hands than I thought. Thank goodness for that. But I've chatted with a number of people who had like no idea, missed it in the shuffle. But another great benefit for you. So this is something provided by Remax. So y'all get a free subscription to real estate news. You can follow this QR code here, or as Bill was just saying, let's get back to the 90s. Let's dig into our email. I guarantee you it's in there. But, it's a great thing. Obviously, you guys stay pretty well abreast of news, just, being in the business. But it's good to see things here. But in particular, again, another great source to pull items of interest, infographics, articles, things like that to share out to your sphere as well. Talking points, that kind of thing. So great resource, even if you're only using it from that angle. So check that out if you haven't. All right. And then another one I wanted to mention is this webinar coming up. It's on June 6th, as you can see here. So specifically lead gen stuff from KV Corp. So we've been having a lot of great success with that already. Sarah mentioned a few systems we have in the past, but KV Core pretty much does it all. And then with the integration with Max Text and the other things that, Remax is adding on top of that, it's just fantastic stuff. So if you're not already in there and, generating additional contacts with, your past clients, with people coming in, like the open house piece that KV Core has that it integrates with, all those pieces, it's really worth your time to jump in here and check that out. It's just fantastic stuff. One quick example I wanted to give you is property boosts. So I know people have been trying those out. We gave some free ones out last month. So who in here has used those? Okay. And then just shout it out at me. Is it a good thing or no? Cool. I don't hear any no's. I hear plenty of goods. So looking since February, since we've been running the full system here, I went ahead and pulled all of the boosts that have been run and looked at some averages for you. Okay. So first of all, each boost that's run on average generates 1,667 transactions. That'd be nice. Impressions. Yeah, sign me up. Exactly, Scott. 42 clicks. So people actually going through, getting additional information, really looking at it directly, and 9 leads. And in this case, again, lead is someone that has interacted directly, who has asked for additional information. There's actually a connection there, where, again, not just eyes on, right? So not bad at all for running the boost. Also, what does this success cost you? Well, average cost of one of those is $60. So, I mean, any of you that have used, the old realtor.com stuff, Zillow, whatever, what does a lead cost there, right? And if you get 9 of them on average for 60, definitely worth using. And also, everyone in here that's used it, is it hard to use? Yeah, it's dead simple, right? It's so easy to just like get it going. So if you've got any listings whatsoever, jump in there, use Property Boost. It's a fantastic. All right. Other thing I wanted to run past here. Obviously, if you've been here a bit, you know that August is Month of Miracles with the Children's Miracle Network and, of course, Phoenix Children's Hospital locally here. So we got a lot of great stuff going on this year as well. Last year, really successful charity concert that we did, the auction, some of those other things. That was great. It was our biggest fundraising month ever for CMN. So we're doing, concert again, some other fun stuff this year too. But I think Kim said it best when we were chatting yesterday, which is, however many hands we have in there helping out, it always seems like, 2 more people would have been just right to help us handle everything. So if you'd like to get involved this year, be on the committee, help out in just whatever way you can. We would certainly appreciate it. It's a great cause. And just email Kim if you'd like to get involved, and we'll plug you into that as well. And then a quick reminder that after we're done here, stick around. We'll mastermind about some of the stuff we talked about today, plus of course, anything else that's on your mind. Always good value to spend some extra time with all of you. So with that, let's jump on over to Shannon.
Need a click here.
Oh, either one.
Thank you. Me and technology, you guys know this. Good morning. So I wanted to start with introducing Leanne Russo and have her come up and join me for a moment. As you guys have all been getting fair warning, I'm going to be gone the bulk of June. Well, beginning next Friday, I will not be back till July 1st. So I have submitted to the department. Leanne will be our broker of the month and will be responsible. You guys are going to be in great hands. She's been reviewing files. You've probably already seen some of her notes in there for that. Go easy on her, you guys. She's just doing her best, and nobody loves getting their files nitpicked apart, but that's what we do. I'll try not to. There we go. But Leanne has a ton of experience. I've known her for a very long time. She's obviously the daughter of our former broker owner, Frank Russo. She has a ton of experience. She's had her broker's license for quite a while. She's actually acted as a broker manager at another company here recently. So you're in good hands. And the beautiful thing about Leanne that I love about her is that similar to myself, if we don't know the answer, we know where to find it. We have a lot of people that we know to go to, a lot of experience with that. So she's got legal hotline access and everything you'll need. So feel free to reach out to her. Please save. It is coming at you in your broker blast. It is coming at you in your newsletter this month, but save this page for future reference as well, because it's got all of our staff, all of their contact information, and then some basic emails of where do I send this? When I have a referral coming in, where do I send those documents? Because there's no transaction file in SkySlope. Where do I send a buyer broker agreement? Where do I send my advertising requests for review for the broker? So all of those are there and listed for you. So it's very handy. And I would just encourage you to save that somewhere that you can get to it at a moment's notice. And the dates that I'll be gone are right there on there as well. So thank you.
Hi, guys. It's good to be back. I took a 4-year hiatus from all of you, but I'm back. So happy to be back here. Just be patient with me, especially between the hours of 5 and 7. I have a 6-month-old and a 5-year-old. So bedtime is, chaos a little bit. So PM, I'm usually up in AM. So you can text me if you want. So yeah, just be a little bit patient for those hours, but otherwise I'll be pretty readily available. You just might hear baby babbles in the background. So.
Thanks, you guys. All right. And then next, I've mentioned this a couple of times, and I'm going to mention it again because Nate mentioned to me that he's getting hit almost daily from these referral companies that want you to sign up with them. And okay, everybody's getting them. I'm hearing the murmurs. So I wanted to share this one in particular because I want you to read this language and how, as a broker, how scary this is. So what this says is that it's 35% of the full commission received by broker for any transaction side from that prospect. So buy, sell. Notice there's no end date. Perpetuity. So again, we've had a referral company that came back to us recently for 15 referral fees because they had scrubbed records, realized these people had bought or sold, and came back to be paid on them. So I want you to be careful of this stuff. Read fine print, The other part of this says, in some cases, the prospect may not appear but on title, but is involved in the transaction. And that still constitutes a referral fee. So they refer husband maybe, and then maybe it's, or maybe someone, you know, someone, and then the kids are the ones actually buying, or who knows what the situation is, but potentially they're going to wrap that in. They also say multiple transactions. So again, more and more, this is just one company. So I just want you to be careful and read that fine print. They also, if their terms and conditions, read those, because that's where this stuff is hidden in small print. And it's really important because you could be on the hook for a long time. It also mentions if you change brokerages, they'll still follow you for it there, which I don't really know how they can do that because it's the broker agreement, but that's a whole different conversation. So I just want you to be aware of that. If you are looking into any of those things, just be very careful. And if you want me to help review, yes.
And so we engaged with one of these companies and we were able to figure out that they're not licensed. So we can't pay them a referral anyway.
That's a big one.
And in addition, once we got their agreement, because we played with them for a long time, and so they sent us their agreement, what it said was pay us, and I don't remember on this one because we've played with a few, but it was $400 or something. And then the referral fee. So it's $400 onboarding. Well, that's exciting, but right underneath it says that there's no guarantee and no obligation on their part to ever give you a referral. So they're not a broker. They can't be paid. And they're just collecting $400 because you fell for it. So don't do that.
Right. Yeah, just
They're out of Wyoming.
Be very
That one.
careful. Yeah, it's right. Lynette.
Is it on? Oh, there we go. This also just takes home that when you need to find an agent in a different state or city, don't put it into like referral exchange or something like that. Do your research. I mean, we have everybody emails like, do you guys know an agent here? Do you guys know an agent there? And send it directly.
Use Max Center. You've got, you know, 100,000+. We probably do know somebody in a different state somewhere. But yes, use your resources that you have available to you otherwise, because these are a little scary, the things they're sneaking into these agreements. There you go.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I will share this just because we were laughing about it earlier. So far, the only referral we've not been able to find a good person for is in Malawi. So we got every country in Africa that surrounds it, but not there. So that was our challenge. So sorry, can't help you on that, but pretty much probably every other state and country, I think we got you.
We've done a lot of out of country ones, that's for sure. All right. Dated ABA, you guys saw this in your broker blast last week, but please save this until it's uploaded into SkySlope forms. That you know that takes a little bit more time on the SkySlope side, but this is in the working docs for you, but they did update some of the bundle fees and that sort of thing through title. So we want to make sure we're using a current version of that. So I just wanted to make sure you save that. Everybody okay? Right? This one, I had sent out previously the Secret Service for deed fraud and some of the tips they have. ALTA, the American Land Title Association, has now put out this version of it. And I'll email this to you as well, because it goes a little deeper on the seller impersonation side. So I'm going to share this with you. It's so rampant, you guys, and we've been talking about it for a few months now, but this has some really good tips in terms of verifying identity and that kind of thing. And I think that at the moment is critical. So if you're getting these online leads and you've not met with this person, they're out of state or out of country, make sure you're following maybe some of these tips to meet, to go online and do a Skype or a Zoom call with them or something and get identification and that sort of thing. There is nothing wrong with asking. It doesn't cross any fair housing lines to verify someone's identity. So just.
And Shannon, real quick, clarification on the ABAs. So if they're not using title lines, do they still need that or just the one pager?
Okay, thank you. So the ABA, the first page is always required 100% of the time for any client RE/MAX Professionals represents. This 2 pages following the Title Alliance specific one is for the investors in Title Alliance. So you can use all three, but you don't necessarily have to unless you're an investor. So just that first page for anybody who's a non-investor. That makes sense.
I keep shutting it off. Sorry. I don't know if you want to say this for the mastermind, but how many people sat in on that title class? That title, dirty deeds class?
Yes.
And then how many people were left very confused that there's nothing we can do to help our clients?
There are some new, I think it's getting enough attention now that they are starting to pay attention at like the AG's office and some of those. The tough thing that I've understood from FBI classes and things that I've been on is that it's tough to determine the jurisdiction of it, because where's the person versus where's the property, and what have they actually done versus, what are they intending to do when we catch on to these things. So it's a tough one for them to follow. The department, the new commissioner has said to just send her or send the department if you think you got one, and then they are kind of scrubbing that, if you will, and then sending it to the AG if they think it's something they can actually make a follow up with.
Right. You just think that there would be a way that we could encourage our clients to put an additional step in place, whether
Yes.
it be a trust or something, but this attorney said there was nothing they can do. And I'm like, serious?
There's not, I mean, they did recommend, potentially putting a small loan or something, like a line of credit on there that they don't even have to use the money, but just to have it on there so it's attached just makes it a little harder for them to have to try to release that in order to complete the fraud. But yeah, it's a tough one. And I think we're all learning through this as it's happening. We're getting better tips, better checklists for this, and better ways to submit it if we do run into a challenge. So we'll hopefully get better, then it won't continue. Okay, so along the same lines. Oh, that's the second page, sorry. I'm sharing this. Who was on the FBI Zoom? Okay, so a few of you have seen a similar example. These are different email addresses. And I'm going to give you a minute to stare at that. Very close, yes. On the next page, I'm going to show you. Everybody can see it okay? Have a chance to study it? Okay. In all caps, when it's in lowercase, the L and the I are the same. So you can see how easy it would be for someone to spoof your email, contact your client, and commit wire fraud. So I share this with you because this really hit me, because I always thought, oh, I'll catch it if they have the extra dot or the underscore line or something, all these things. But when I saw that, it terrified me that how easy this would be and you would never know. You couldn't tell by looking at it. So I guess I'm just saying this, just be careful, be extra diligent. This is how easy it is for them to spoof you to get to your client or the title company or whoever else. And just be aware of it. If you're not sure how secure your email is, or if you have concerns about that, or you're not sure what to do, Mike obviously is very knowledgeable. Not to throw him under the bus to answer all your questions about it, but there's also
Bring
the
all your
AAR.
email questions to me.
AAR also offers the free tech hotline. Use it. Ask them, hey, can you look at my email and see if this is secure, if there's any other things I need to be doing? I mean, I'm not particularly tech knowledgeable, but I would encourage you to make sure that you're checking into what your systems are to make sure they're secure, because this could be very easy to happen. So there is a new fair housing advisory form that came out from the association. So at the moment, I do not have this required. I would encourage you, I would highly, highly recommend you use it on each of your transactions, along with your buyer advisory and your other typical disclosures. It may become, because I'm hearing more and more brokers that are requiring it, and when it becomes industry standard, we're going to need to include this. So for now, I'm going to just say highly recommended. If it continues because it just came out ramping up where other brokers are requiring it, I will have to probably need to make this required, but it's a great resource. It's got great links on it. I would encourage you to use it and just be aware of that. It's in AAR forms already. Yep, it's live. I will add it. Yes, thank you for that reminder. I will add, Sarah's question was, will it be in the template? And I will add that to the templates for you guys. So it'll be in there automatically. There are other forms there. I'll get to this one in a second, but very small print. I'm just showing you this as an example. But to back up on the other new forms, there are, I believe the additional clause addendum was released today. I couldn't tell yesterday if that was out or not yet, so I'm thinking it will be today. The new buyer contingency addendum, I believe, has been bumped to July from what I'm seeing. So I don't see that one coming out June 1st like they anticipated. But the fair housing and the additional clause addendum should be the two new ones today. I'm going to talk about this. This is old. I don't even know what year this was made, but this was from NAR and it talks about RESPA. Everybody familiar with RESPA? It's been a while since we've talked about RESPA, but RESPA is a hot button again. And the new commissioner, I was on a call with her last week, and she is going deep on RESPA. And she is now requiring brokers to submit our affiliated business disclosures and all of our joint venture information to them so that they can investigate that we're all in compliance and doing things properly when we have these agreements with other companies. So that's why we're staying current. Those fees just changed so that it was a current change to the ABA, by the way. But this is the tool that NAR put out, and it's in your working docs of SkySlope, or you can go to NAR and Google it or search for it. But it has all the basic rules of RESPA. So if you're doing any co-marketing or with a lender or a title company or a settlement service provider, this gives you the checklist of what you can and can't do. And the biggest takeaways are, it has to be, if you're doing any co-sponsorship or anything like that for events or client things or open houses or and there's giveaways or anything like that at all, it has to be a direct proportionate share of each of that you're contributing to that. So you can't have just your lender paying for everything. It has to be a proportionate share of that marketing. So that's the biggest takeaway. I want to just make sure everybody's clear, but read this if you get a minute. I know it's kind of boring material, but it's very critical. And particularly right now, they're going to be looking very closely at this kind of thing. And if agents are crossing any line. The other one that I'm just going to mention with the new commissioner is on advertising. I mentioned last month that she's pretty hot on advertising. It's still on. She's pretty hot on advertising right now. She is going to be coming out with, what she's told us is that she's going to be coming out with new substantive policies that address what used to be the subjective part of your brokerage name has to be prominently displayed. She's going to have actual guidelines for what that means. And in her eyes, what she's telling us is that has to be larger than your name or a team name. She used a very specific example where she said, you can't have this giant long Desert Homes, your best realtor team, 5-word long team name in giant letters, and then have your little tiny brokerage somewhere hidden at the bottom, or like she used a 3-letter example, small at the bottom that you don't recognize. So the brokerage and the company name has to be, it will have new rules for what's prominent on that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Oh, this goes on to the next slide. I just have 2 more topics I'm going to mention before we go on. This is Nate, I believe. The lawsuits that are still out there, the class action lawsuits, they have ramped up a little bit more even since I've been mentioning these. And I'm hearing that they're going to have a trial date set for the first one coming here in the fall, in September, October, they're anticipating. And then the bigger one will be next spring. So those are, Cindy? These are the ones where they're talking about commission and compensation and buyer broker. And they're talking about how these sellers feel like they were harmed because they paid a co-broke. And if all of the sellers came forward and made it, if it were to get to this point, and if all those sellers were to make a claim for those, it's to the tune of about a little over $13 billion that would be paid back to sellers. If the courts award treble the damages on that, it would be up to 41 billion is what they're saying. Billion. Yes, that's a B. Yes, it's a big number. And I've been talking about this a long time. The outcome of these cases will absolutely change us as an industry and how we handle co-broke and compensation. So buyer broker agreements, you guys start using them. If you're not using them, get into practice early, because I think they're going to be very critical for you to receive compensation from a buyer. Yes. We're in a large market. They hit the large markets. They hit the 5 big franchises and they hit the 20 largest MLSs. We're in both of those. So yeah, it's pretty well nationwide. I mean, honestly, you know, and the smaller one that's this fall is a lot of the smaller ones, you know, so they're kind of split up in, from what I can tell. So I will keep you guys posted as I keep hearing more about this, but I just wanted to, you know, make sure you're aware. And then I had Steve was mentioning last night that he was having some trouble in MLS and monsoon. And I just got an alert from Armless that the new monsoon system, it went active today. So it's called Curve View Tax. I would encourage you to go and jump into it. I am hearing really good things. It has a mobile version. It's supposed to be a much upgraded system from monsoon. So watch that email because it just went out. If you haven't gotten it, I'll make sure to get it out to you guys on the new system. There's some great FAQs on there and what you can do with it and using new curb view system. So they haven't come out with the new showing one yet. That's coming as well. Anyways, Nate.
And actually, real quick here, I want to have Jake jump up. He's got a quick item for us. And Jake with American Home Shield here was good enough to also get breakfast for us this morning. So thank you for that, sir.
Good morning, all. How's everybody doing? First of all, I want to start out with a congratulations for the office. To date, we are up 28 closings over prior year. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate the support very much. Also, I just wanted to let you know that I will be going on vacation starting tomorrow until October 1st because the hot weather is here. So just want to let you know. No, I'm only kidding. Now we'll be on vacation 1 week in June and 1 week in August. But I will be here to support you and your clients to the best of my ability. Also, I just want to highlight something real quick about our claims as American Home Shield. Last year, American Home Shield nationwide paid out $771 million in claims. Okay, that's not cost. That's cost. That's not retail. So think about how much clients pay for home repairs, how expensive that is. If one warranty company paid out $771 million, the cost of home repair is very expensive. And with that being said, I broke this down. Can anybody tell me what the highest claims were? Would it be air conditioning, electrical, plumbing? Appliances. Appliances were $323 million last year that we paid out compared to 250 for air conditioning. So appliances are a big headache now. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. So keep in mind that Shield Plus, we cover the appliances, all the appliances 100%. And then how many people use social media? All right. Well, I've got some of these signs that you may want to use if you sell the house. I don't care if you put your hand over that. But don't want to go home. But I have these if you want to use, if you want to go on social media, take a picture with your new buyer. Be happy to send. I've got these. I'll leave these here for you as well. So absolutely. I'll hand deliver it to you. I'll hand deliver it to you. But if you need more, let me know. I can order them. I've also got some great sign writers in the office that you can put on your pole that says home warranty included. So it'll bring attention to those buyers saying, hey, yeah, if I buy this house, there's going to be a home warranty included on it. So I've got those two, and those are also in the office. Again, thank you so much for all your support. If I can be of any help, please feel free to reach out to me. Remember, if you call me, leave me a message, text me, I'll answer right away, or email right away. But phone calls, just leave me a message and I'll call you back. I get that Jake guy all the time calling me from State Farm, and I just don't want to answer his calls. So thank you so much. Office is doing great, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, we have a few minutes. Sorry, I've been in the back of the room on a conference with Remax International about a new Teams program that they're launching officially today. So I'll send out some information on Teams. So if you want to grow a large team in their world is 6 agents. There's some massive incentives coming back to you for having a team of that size. So talk louder. Thank you, Cindy. You know I'm shy. So basically what I have up here is the Cromford report graphic that comes out every month. Okay. And if you look at this report, you can see what's kind of happening in the market. But does this graphic tell you what's really going on? That's a snapshot versus this month versus the same month last year. But in between there are, basically 11 months that aren't being referenced here. So it's very interesting. But, this time last year, let's kind of put ourselves where we were last March. You guys remember? Last December, a year ago, December, the frenzy that was happening. Do you think that's going to happen again? Well, it depends on interest rates. Okay, good. This is exactly what I want. I want your help. I want conversation between all of us here. Okay, so we're hearing that if interest rates go below 6%, boom, it's going to be crazy. What else are you guys thinking?
I don't know. There we go. Jeez. It's the user, I swear. Active listings, it says 12.5, but really of those, only 9,000 are single family homes. So it depends on inventory too.
Inventory. Okay. Go ahead, Kim.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, what I'm hearing from other agents is that homes under 400,000 are getting multiple offers. It's really busy. Selling in days.
Yeah. There was a track house. I used the word track, a Toll Brothers house in Blackstone that went on the market for $2 million, sold in 2 days cash. Right. So, the market's the market, right? So what if I told you that since last October was the peak, right? That's, going from March, inventory grew all the way to October. What's happened since October? You realize that there are 246 less listings every single week. And if that continues in 6 to 8 months, we'll be back to where the inventory was last March at 4,000. Well, but it's a reality, right? So it's a trend, and that trend is something we have to be familiar with, right? We have to embrace that trend. We have to understand what's going on. We don't want to wake up 6 months from now and go, oh shit, excuse my language, but so we have to understand the market, right? If inventory is going to continue to decline, what's going to happen? Prices go up. Excellent. Okay. So prices, if you look at this, prices actually are down from a year ago by 9.6. Okay. Here's an example when it comes to price. Let me find it here. The first part of 2022 saw a median price in Greater Phoenix rise from 425 to 470 by May. That was 2% a month. In my 36 years of doing this, I've never seen that before, right? We used to tell people that if you buy a house, trying to understand this, that maybe on an annualized basis, you might get a 3% appreciation. We were getting 2% a month. It was pretty crazy. So then it kind of flattened out a little bit. As you can see, we're at 425 right now, but in December, that was 418. Okay, so we've had an increase of $7,000 in just the first quarter and a half, let's say. It's still going up. It's just more gradual, more normal, right? So we got to understand the market. Now, mortgage rates, you said mortgage rates, right? So according to Mortgage Bankers Association, Freddie Mac, Compass Bank, National Association of Realtors have all declared that interest rates should drop or may drop. Let me rephrase that, may drop to the mid to low 5 range by the end of the year. So It's got chills saying that, right? You know what I mean? Really, I got goosebumps saying that because what's going to happen, low inventory, lower interest rates, feeding frenzy again, right? You need to get busy, right? So the key is, guys, you got to become a listing agent, right? If you're not a listing agent, right, you got to do whatever you can to get listings, harvest listings, because that's what's going to pay you. When you're a buyer's agent in a frenzy market, how many remember, Jennifer? How many offers did you write to that one buyer? 23 different offers, right? I mean, some of you are new to real estate, right? They're like, what the hell am I doing here, right? Yeah. So it's not like we see on TV, right? I spent a little time watching a flip show on, my daughter was watching. I was proud. She was watching a flip show on motels. But you know, when you go onto TV and you see $1 million listing and people pull up in their Ferrari and they list a $36 million house, and by the end of the show, they made like, you know, $500,000 in commissions, you know, in 30 minutes, you know, that's not reality, right? So we have to understand what's going on in the market. But the $1 million plus market is hot, right? The $1 million buyers don't need or are not using financing. It blows me away, you know. And $1 million house today is a tract home. It's not a custom home. It's not a luxury home. It's a nice home. I did not last month.
Tina Tamaru from Cromfort Report, she talked about Chandler being a hotspot for luxury.
Mhm. Yeah, you know, being a millionaire is nothing today, right? I mean, that's almost average, almost, right? It doesn't take much to be a millionaire anymore. 30 years ago, being a millionaire was like, wow, right? So, you know, multimillionaires are coming in from California, left and right. I was playing golf last night, and I had a listing that was listed for 2.5 million. It's a new home under construction. It's frame stage, right? I wish I had 20 of these because I'd sell them all, right? The amount of people wanting to buy this one house is unreal. And the guy I was talking to last night from the club, he goes, you know, I really wanted that house, you know, and I go, I understand, you know, and I told him the same thing. I wish I had 20 of them because I would sell them all. But, you know, he's from California and $2.5 million is like nothing. He goes, you know, we sold our house in Palo Alto, which was probably a 50-year-old home, 2,000 square feet for 1.7 million, right? So they come over with with money in their hands, right? So we all love the California buyers. We have give you an example. Roberta and I are co-listing a vineyard in Young, Arizona. Now, we had to convince Shannon to allow us to go outside of our area, and it took a lot of convincing. But this has been my client for 25 years. He's probably number 2 or 3 on my top 50. He begged me to list this property. He felt that I can sell it. Well, I wanted to bring Roberta and Rick in for their experience in that market of commercial and drinking. Yeah. They're pretty good at that. No, they don't drink. But here's the interesting thing. This house, compound, vineyard, magical home hit the market 24 hours ago. Right now, we have, at least just myself, and Roberta has some as well, 4 inquiries for cash buyers very interested. 1 from Pennsylvania, 1 from California, 2 from Peoria. Okay. We have another person wanting to show it Tuesday from Young, which is another entrepreneur that has farming in that town wanting to look at the property. She has several other people. We haven't even really started doing any marketing yet. And they're all cash, right? So cash buyers, you know, when we went for 2 years, Mike told me about this house and wanted me to list it and the whole, or come out and just enjoy it. And I would never go. Today, I don't know what I was thinking, because when we got there, wasn't it amazing? Yeah. So matter of fact, Christine, who's worked for me for 17 years, does all my everything, right? She does everything for me. She's been sad all week about selling this house. She's never seen it. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're selling it. Why are they selling it? And she's like emotionally distraught of this house. Guess where Christine is right now? Driving to Young, Arizona to experience it, right? And so anyway, the point is, in a market like that, shameless plug for our listing up here, I don't know. But there's money out there. So interest rates, everybody worries about interest rates. Find buyers that aren't doing loans. Okay. So it's pretty simple, right? Yeah. Shannon.
I'm not going to say required. I highly recommended Nate work with Roberta for her commercial experience. And one of the first things he told me after having her go to the property with him is he didn't know what he didn't know. And that's why it's so important to stay in your lane and your area of expertise, and why you need to find someone who does know what they're doing to do these things with you before you try to jump into them. My broker plug from that.
Yeah. And again, we don't want none of us want to work outside our area of expertise, right? Because that's not what we're licensed to do. We're licensed to sell real estate in areas that we know. Yes, Roberta.
Likewise, I don't do a whole lot of luxury. I have, but not a whole lot. And it's tremendous to have a mentor like Nate. I mean, this is a give and take here. He knows so much on the luxury side, and I could just walk around and listen to him and say, oh gosh, I didn't notice that, or I didn't notice that. So for the same things he may have been learning from me and Rick, I'm learning on his side on his specialty. So I think part right now is a tremendous for everybody if you don't know your niche.
Mhm.
Requests get flagged out because we have people who use our resources in-house.
Yeah, and Mr. Positivity here, I'll say this too. I don't think I don't think that it's that anyone here like wants to work outside your area of expertise. It's that you don't want to let the opportunity go. Right. And I think the point there is that you still have opportunity to learn from that, do that right, not get sued in the process, probably. Right. So that's all good stuff. Look at the opportunity side.
So you might think that what buyers have an opportunity right now, right? There should be some motivation for buyers to get, like I like to say, off the couch into the office for a consultation, into showing properties, and get them into buying stage. If they don't buy today, they're not buying in 6 months, or they might want to get into the market in 6 months as the market starts to climb again. And like this angle right here, where prices could start going up and people fear of the prices going up. But there's no better time right now to get your buyer off the fence. You need to let them know inventory is shrinking. Interest rates have come down. So you can see Tina and Model Mortgage, because we're seeing rates under 6% right now, right at 6. Where are they at? I don't even know. Closer to 7. Yeah. Okay. So I'll get to you, Sarah. I got to say something. When I was a baby realtor, right? We're talking 32, 34 years ago, I would live and die by the interest rate, right? We were selling a lot of government homes, HUD homes, VA repos, and their first time home buyers. So interest rate was very important. I go to bed every night, wake up every morning worrying about interest rates. And then one day somebody told me, quit worrying about things you cannot control. So I don't know what the interest rate is. I thought it was 6. It's closer to 7. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to sell real estate regardless. I'm not going to allow an interest rate to stop me. As a matter of fact, over the last 50 years, the average interest rate over the last 50 years is 7.5%. I think it's 7.8%. So we're below the average. So, I know some of us have been in that 3%, 4%. That was like free money. That's free money. Free money, right?
So can I, I'm going
to
tag off of that. So you guys have heard Nate and I talk about the river of real estate, where the Harvard study says that 13% of the population will move regardless of what's happening in the market or the rates. Y'all know I just bought a new vehicle, right? It's pretty badass. The interest rate's freaking ugly. It's ugly, right? The payment's ugly, but y'all know I did it anyways because why? I needed a different vehicle, right? So it didn't matter when he told me what the rate was. I would say, okay, it is what it is, right? I didn't even question it, right? And I ended up getting a little bit better deal once again, the finance department, but it didn't matter, right? Because I had a motivation and a need to do it. So a couple more things, sorry. If you feel like right now is a bad time to own a home, or you feel like the interest rates are stopping people, that's the energy that you're putting into your orbit. So stop it. Stop it. Go out and find people. And it is always a good time to be a homeowner. Lastly, if you hear someone say that they would love to move, because we have a big clog in the system. I've been saying there's a dam in the river, and that is sellers that are sitting in their homes at 3.75 or 2.75, whatever that looks like. And they're saying, I would like to move, but I don't want to pay the interest rate. So please, please, please have a script to say, Leslie, can I consult you a little bit about that? What if I could show you a way? And then we get into real estate jargon of the buy downs and all of that. There are people in your database that want to move, but they are being affected by the media. They're being affected by what they hear that's just not true. You guys are the experts. So go out and educate them and get in your databases. There's money to be made. And please, it's always a great time to be a homeowner.
Excellent. I got to say something so you'll clap. Free food in the back. So bottom line, that's for your buyers. You got to make sure that you're educating them, having a consultation, let them know that the inventory is shrinking. Okay. And it's probably going to continue to shrink because, people ask me why are houses not coming on the market as fast as they were. And it's exactly what you said. People are comfortable in their house, right? If you're downsizing from a 3,000 square foot house to a 2,000 square foot house, you can do that. And if they need financing, their payment's probably the same, will end up being the same for less of a house, for a third smaller home. Yeah, well, again, but you still have to put it back in, right? So it doesn't change the payment all that much. So you could put $100,000 down, but because they were paying 2.5%, now they'd have to pay almost 7%. It doesn't really change the financial pictures. That's why they're sitting in their houses. There's a lot of big houses out there with 2 people living in them for a reason. Okay. That will change. Something will cause the 13%. When you're farming a neighborhood, right? How many people farm? Everybody's hand should be up, right? You're never going to get listings unless you farm, right? You have to have a mechanism to communicate to your database, right? And that farming could be your database. It doesn't have to be a geographical area, but you have to be doing something on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to keep your name in front of the clients. So in that 13% of the people have to move, the hand goes up, right? The want to moves, we're just going to have to be aggressive. I don't want to scare some of you, right? But we got to be aggressive, right? Sellers. So the meeting is officially over. We're kind of going to lean right into the mastermind, but I'm going to finish a thought here on sellers. Okay. And in the same report from Cromford, they talk about FHA loans, right? This is really interesting, Tina, that they're saying here that, since they raised the limit on FHA loans, they also reduced the mortgage insurance premium from 0.85 down to 0.55, which is now making it almost more affordable to go FHA than conventional. What they're saying there is on a $400,000 to $500,000 loan, the monthly savings is about $100 off the buyer's payment. Combine that with a 30-year fixed rate that runs a quarter to a half a point below conventional loans. So FHA, if you're representing a seller, you want to make sure that buyers, or if you're representing a buyer, FHA is a good way to go right now. Would you guys agree from the mortgage industry? Free money. So basically that can save them a couple $100 a month on a $400,000 to $500,000 loan, right? Yep, you do that, right? Closings in March for properties under 600,000 saw a 21% closing involved with an FHA loan. Okay. So closings in March under 600,000 saw 21% of closings had an FHA loan. Okay. And last May, that was only 9.5%. Now, of course, last May, we still had that investor frenzy, multiple offers, cash offers, etc. You add on to that where you start doing adjustments in interest rates by doing a 1-year buy down, a lifetime buy down, a 2-1 buy down, a 3-1 buy down, whatever you can do, the opportunities are there, guys. So we have to just go make it happen. So that's it. I want to be respectful of your time. The people that want to stay for a mastermind afterwards, just assemble to the front. What was that noise? Assemble to the front so we don't have to yell. We won't be using a mic. And during the mastermind, we just kind of take some items that some agents are having challenges with and just kind of try to help solve them. We've helped people get price reductions, remodel houses, get listings, get a buyer off the fence. Your choice.
All right, come on up. Let's get solving.